Okay, good evening. I'm gonna do one liner pull out. I know it's a little dark. I forgot my little holder, a little clamp for my iPhone, so I had to walk back, and I started late already. Right now it's like 8 o'clock. I'm on the top of the hill at McLaren Park. It's very peaceful there. Could be a little dangerous. Could be a bear coming in. Nah, no bear here. But anyway, so it's getting a little dark here. It's kind of scary. I'll just I'm not gonna waste my effort climbing right here and not doing something productive. So I'm just gonna have to just go with it without any lighting. And it sounds like this. I missed the ball. It's too dark. Anyway, 在珍惜新地的日子. Okay, so I am going to talk about struts. Struts is a framework. So a framework is very general, right? But in terms of Jakarta Struts, is a framework in which allows you to look at pages as a collection. So instead of looking at each element like a text field, you look at the whole aggregate of a collection of pages. It's like a form. You could say a collection of forms and text fields and labels as one unit, and you progress from one page to another after submission. So that's a framework. It's a structs framework. I'm using the same thing. Surprisingly, it's actually very powerful because I'm using JEditor Paint, and so it does support most HTML. And then when you click on it, it actually uses Java Action Listener. So it's very reactive, right? So you could leverage the full functionality of HTML. It's a lot easier to code your page than adding a button, and this is too much work to add a button to create a form and to program a logic. It's so much easier to program and using HTML for your page. But at the same time, the link it's not as reactive as a GUI, right? And also you don't have like JTable and stuff. So JEditor Paint, it's actually very powerful together with this framework that I'm using. I haven't come up with the name of the framework. It should be very powerful, and so I'm going to use this for annotation. So annotation basically is a meta file, is an XML file that's dot extension to it, so it'll be hidden, and I'm going to use it to add extra meta information in conjunction to the HTML files, right? So you have HTML files and you have XML files, and they're joined together using the naming convention, which is provided by the unique identifier. But you can use, but there are cases where there's a mismatch between the identifier, or maybe you misspelled it and it is case sensitive. Then you're allowed to make adjustment to it using annotation. It's a dot file that sits on the header entry, right? So entry, it's a plaster tornado concept that's rendered on a GUI, right? So entry could be static, and it will be just a directory, a root directory with annotation. So basically, entry has all the information of a J tree, as well as table, as well as XML files, as well as annotation, which is a XML file but has a dot extension to it, as well as HTML file. It's all collected into a directory, where inside the directory you have data contained in the XML file. So with that, I'll call this whole thing book content, netbook. Instead of like webbook, it's netbook. So it's one word, no space, NET, capital BOOK. With that, I'm gonna finish up the spec for netbook, and I'll see you next time.